All right, hey everybody. So this is just a quick video to talk a little bit about bear spray. I actually had two kind of bad experiences with bear spray in the backcountry. And so I was gonna speak a little bit about those in hopes that everybody learns something about carrying bear spray and you know, some of the things to keep an eye out for. As you can see, this is it is a Ziploc bag. I keep it like that for obvious reasons. If I'm carrying bear spray on my person, obviously I take it out, but if it's not on my person, I always keep it in a Ziploc. Okay, so in 2004, I was fortunate enough to go on a trip in the Tetons. Bear spray was carried by a different person every day. And on the first day of the trip, the person at the end of the day, they talked about having chapped lips, and they talked about how their lips were burning so bad. You know, maybe they're a little dehydrated or sunburned. You know, ended up being okay. The next day, a second person complained of the same things. Their lips were burning. Their lips were really chapped, and they just, you know, we thought the same thing. Okay, you know, like, you know, this person's probably got some sunburn or they're dehydrated. On the third day, I actually carried the bear spray. And on the second day, the person complaining of those symptoms was carrying the bear spray. On the third day, I carried the bear spray, and I had the same thing. My lips were burning, and I was just like, my gosh, like this really hurts. Like, I don't think this is dehydration. Lo and behold, we came to realize that the bear spray was an old can, and it was, Jack thinks he's going to get a snack. You don't want this snack, Jack. The bear spray was actually leaking just barely right around the edge. And you could kind of put your nose and you could smell it, and there was just a little bit of residue. And so it was an old can. Who knows how long it had been around. And what had happened was the people carrying the can, you know, transferred the residue onto their face, and it was burning them. So these cans, they can leak. My guess is it was stored in a place that was wet, and maybe there was like some rust had formed. I seem to remember like some rust forming or something. The second bad experience I had with bear spray was around 2015, and it was in Alaska actually. And I was leading a trip, and we bought our bear spray, and we were climbing up the side of this hill, and someone was, you know, really tired. I was like, said, well, you know, take a break for a few minutes. And when that person was putting their backpack back on, you know, I grabbed their backpack and kind of picked it up to help them put it on. And I bent over, and the bear spray, it was stuck in the water bottle pocket of my backpack, and it slipped out of the water bottle pocket, and it hit the ground. It fell maybe like, you know, 2.5 feet, and it hit the ground, and just barely this small little hairline fracture formed in the can. And we heard this really faint hissing noise, and we were like, what is that? And I looked down, and I saw a little orange speck on the can. The can I had in Alaska was not orange, although I think it was maybe the same brand. But I remember seeing a little orange speck on the side of the can, and I was thinking to myself, no way did that just happen. That we couldn't have put just a little hole in that can of bear spray. No sooner after I thought that, the bear spray, just the smell and the substance kind of overwhelmed us, and we were like, oh my gosh, you know. And all it was just this little, you know, very, very small pinhole. And so we took off up the trail and hiked and hiked and hiked. We were going uphill, so, you know, we walked probably 100 feet and stopped to catch our breath. And then it caught up with us again. And then we kept going even faster, you know, a couple 100 yards, and it caught up with us again. And that happened for probably half a mile. So we actually made it up the mountain very quickly because we were trying to get away from this awful kind of bear spray, because the whole can was emptying out on the side of the trail. and it was like suffocating. I remember it hitting my lungs and being really just totally floored at how powerful it was, even though it was like a very, very small hint of what, you know, was actually in the can. You know, unfortunately, we left the can there. I mean, there's no way we could go back and get it. We couldn't do anything with it. And we just got the hell out of there. So, you know, always make sure you have the little neoprene sleeve that goes over the can, because these cans, they are not puncture proof. So, you know, just a couple kind of wild stories from the backcountry. You know, I spent a lot of time in bear country. I've seen a lot of bears. I've been charged by a black bear with 2 cubs one time. I'm not actually partial to bear spray. I grew up in, you know, in the country, and, you know, I will typically carry a firearm because it's something I'm, you know, comfortable with. But a lot of people like bear spray, you know, just because of their comfort level, and I understand that. I think a lot of professionals or people outdoors actually recommend carrying bear spray and a firearm, which, you know, makes sense. I get that. You just really gotta be careful with these things, because they can fail, and it's nasty, nasty stuff. I mean, I can speak from 2 different experiences. And, you know, weird stuff happens when you're out in the backcountry. Odd things happen that you know, wouldn't happen anywhere else. And so in a way, it's kind of like Murphy's Law, right? You know, whatever bad things can happen will happen. So taking measures to mitigate that is important. Always carry the sleeve on it. And this can's actually about 7 years old, and a part of me is like, maybe I should get another can. I've had it in my camper. It's been really cold. It was down to, like, you know, -6 degrees, and I'm wondering, oh man, like, was this can damaged? You know, did it freeze? I can shake it and I can tell it's a liquid in there. My guess is the stuff probably has to get pretty cold to freeze. But you know, you just got to be careful, because this really is powerful, nasty, toxic stuff. Thanks, everybody. I hope this video was helpful. If it was, hit like or subscribe. And yep, thanks for watching.